Greetings fellow guitar travellers, and welcome to part 4 of Fusion Essentials Outside Improvisation Melodic Minor Superimposition. Yeah, this is the last episode before we move on to subsequent episodes full of even more outside goodness but not melodic minor scales. Anyway, before we get to today's lesson, I'd like to encourage you to have a look at my website. That's www.roundjparker.com, which is a great site, tons of free material. Subscribe to the site for even more free material. There's a store, you can buy things. You can hit me up for Skype lessons via the site. You can also follow me on SoundCloud and Facebook and on Twitter if you like. Anywho, enough of plugging the nonsense. Let's get on with today's lesson. G flat melodic minor superimposition. Oh my god. Let's fusion. Okay, let's look at our last choice, the most outside choice, which is G flat melodic minor. So here's G flat melodic. Now, notes in G flat melodic minor buckle up some crazy enharmonic spellings of notes. We have G flat, A flat, B double flat, yes it is B double flat, C flat, yeah, D flat, E flat, F, and G flat. Now, because that's quite problematic to think like that, let's spell it the other way. Let's spell it like F sharp. It might be a bit more obvious. If it's F sharp melodic minor, in that case it would be F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then, yeah, E sharp, then F sharp. Whichever way we spell it is going to be fairly horrific. But anyway, let's analyse the notes against the chord. So the first note, F sharp, well that's going to be the Dorian 6, that's the major 6 interval, so that's a nice start up. And then we've got G sharp, now we know by now that's the major 7 sound, this sort of sound, minor major 7 type implied sound. And then we've just got A, which is the root of our A minor chord, and B, which is the 2nd or 9th. Now here's the really problematic one. The next note is C sharp, right, which in relationship to the A minor 7 chord is the major 3rd, okay? Now normally on minor chords you would never ever play a major 3rd because it would just sound really horrifically bad. Most of the time it's an absolute no-no. You just don't ever do it. On dominant chords, you can get away with messing around with the 3rd, make it minor or major or somewhere in between, but ambiguous, it's fine. On minor chords, there's a lot more dictatorial, so to play a major 3rd on a minor chord is admittedly quite a brave, courageous, shall we say, courageous outside choice, but that is the particular choice we have in this scale. It's deliberately there, the major 3rd over the minor chord, okay? And then we have our D sharp or E flat in relationship to the chord. We know that is the flat 5th, that's the blue notes. And then what else have we got? We have F or E sharp, we're spelling it, depends which way we're spelling it. If it's G flat, we spell it like F. If it's F sharp, we spell it like E sharp. Don't blame me for this, it's just the way scales are. In relationship to the chord, however, it is the flat 6 or sharp and 5th, so it's not really a sound. We've come across this sound already. We've come across alterations to the 5th in all the melodic minor choices we've had so far. So the effect of playing this one is mostly inside, or mostly things we've come across before. 6, 7, 1, 2, major 3rd, that's the tricky one, flat 5, and then sharp 5 or flat 6, and back to major 6. So you see it is a very brave and outside choice, but if you go for it absolutely with conviction, it does sound fantastic. So here's the last little demo using some challenging to listen to G flat melodic minor over our A minor 6. Enjoy, here we go. Okay, here we go for the last approach, the incredibly outside G flat melodic minor on top of A minor 6. So again, holding and sustaining all the notes of the scale against the chord just to see what levels of horrific dissonance we do have, which unfortunately are quite somewhat, a lot of dissonance here, but let's just see what we have in any case. So here we go, listen to this lot. Okay, first note, G flat or F sharp. That's actually pretty consonant, that's the major 6, not like that. Okay, we're in. Now, G sharp or A flat, which is the major 7th, so that's okay, we get that melodic minor. And then, if you want to go mad, it's B double flat, or enharmonically is A, which is the root, freaking hurrah. So actually, so far, so it's quite nice. Now the next note, C flat, enharmonically B. So again, this sounds good to me, this is the 2nd or 9th. Nice. Here's the next one, problematic. The next note is C sharp or D flat. E. Now this is the major third held against the minor third in the chord, so this is extremely dissonant. Wow, that's pretty out sounding, isn't it? Wow. Anyway, that's what it is. So let's look at the next note. Now we've got D sharp or E flat, which is the flat fifth, the blue note. And then we've got the E sharp or F, which is sharp and fifth or flat 6, minor 6. Then back on the F sharp or G flat, which is the 6. So the effect of this one is pretty stunningly out. What we have is we've got the flat 5 and the sharp 5, but we've also got the major third as well as the major 7. So it's quite a range of outside sounds. So let's just see what we can do with it. Only for the brave, this one I think. Here we go. Okay, well, phew, that is the last demo. Okay, so I mean, I think that is a really interesting sound. Once you come to terms with the dissonance, it's actually pretty nice. So what we can do, if we want to watch the earlier videos, we can mix everything together and get a whole smorgasbord of different colours right over this one chord. Just shows you how amazingly far you can push the concept. Alright, that's it. I'm just going to do the wrap up now. Okay, that concludes part 4. So now we've looked at all 4 melodic minor approaches, a whole smorgasbord, a plethora, if you will, of scale choices you can use. So we can have A melodic minor, C melodic minor, E flat melodic minor, or G flat melodic minor, all over this one A minor 6 chord for varying degrees of outness. So I hope you've enjoyed this first part of this outside improvisation series. Tune in next week because we're going to start looking at the whole tone scale next week. Much neglected, the ginger-haired stepchild, if you will, of the melodic world, but it's a good one if you know what to do with it. So, see you then. Till then, farewell!